Hello, everyone. We're here on a Saturday evening. We're doing a little podcast interview. With me is
milkyeeve
and my wife, Misty. And milkyeeve is actually a cousin of mine, but that is her YouTube name. She has her own YouTube channel, and she's really good on Skype. She's introduced me to folks from Massachusetts. Well, I make their acquaintance, and all the way up into Canada. Is that correct?
Yes.
How long have you been doing this? How long have these people been your friends?
Ever since February.
Ever since February, so it's somewhat new, right?
Kind of and kind of not.
Do you usually, when you talk to everybody out there in computer land, cyberspace, do you chat like with keyboard text or do you talk?
Most of the time with keyboard text. We're more imaginational.
Well, you know, this afternoon you seem to be doing really well. You're using my microphones. You had the headphones on. You was doing pretty well.
Well, time to time we like to chat to each other voice to voice.
And that's good. And this is the first time my wife's actually been on the podcast with me. And we're just going to talk about miscellaneous subjects. Anything in particular? Anything you want to bring to the table, Misty?
Don't have anything in mind right now. Just, you guys throw some things out and we'll see what happens.
Well, Miss milkyeeve is actually... she's not a neighbor. She actually lives about an hour away. But she has a home on basically the other side of the world that is well more than an hour away.
Oh, boy.
I'm thinking it takes almost 36 hours to get there when she actually leaves here. She leaves home A and route to home B.
Nearly 42-hour drive. Nearly 240 hours by flight.
So, yes, that's by car, one leg of the trip, because I'm usually taking you to the airport. And from there, you usually fly, you get a connecting flight, and you'll end up on our West Coast.
Yes.
And I think it's a 12 to 14-hour flight over the Pacific.
It's a total of 12 hours.
I think you've actually went through Taiwan once. Not Taiwan, but Hong Kong, I believe. Hong Kong.
Many times. And probably our last.
You don't like Hong Kong?
No, my dad got really mad at the service.
Oh, well, anyway, her home B is actually in the Philippine Islands. It's on a little island of Cebu. Correct me if I'm wrong, in the north, that's the Luzon Islands, and the capital, Manila.
Yeah.
You live in the central part of the Philippines. It's called the Visayas Islands.
I guess.
And that's just the air conditioner kicking on, folks. Sorry for the noise.
That scared me.
It done you that way once before, I believe. Anyway, do you look forward to going to the Philippines when you actually do? When you leave the U.S. and go to the Philippines, do you look forward to it?
Well, that's kind of hard. It's hard because, there's two different families, and one side of me wants to stay, and one side of me wants to go.
That's true. Your dad's family's here. Your mother's family's in the Philippines. And you're anxious to see that side of the family, but you're sad to leave this side of the family, right?
Yeah.
So, and you started school, actually. I remember in kindergarten, I believe you actually went to the Catholic school in the Philippine Islands. Is that right?
Correct.
How's the schools different? Are they the same? Are there any similarities?
The only similarities that I saw during my trip over there was probably the language that they were using, and that was English. Other than that, everything was more complicated. You had to learn at least second grade math in kindergarten.
So they set a pretty high bar.
Yes.
How's, like the weather over there? I know it must be different. A lot of your mother's family hasn't ever seen it snow, right?
The only time it has seen it snow is when that snowstorm came to China. That was the only time they saw it snow.
That was interesting. When do you plan on going back?
Either next year, nearly next year, or maybe even in 2015.
Oh. You all stay in touch, with Skype and stuff like that. Does that allow you to stay in touch with your folks overseas?
Yes, it helps a lot.
Helps a lot. What kind of sports do they like in the Philippines?
Well, they're more of a playful kind, but most of them enjoy basketball.
basketball? Mm-hmm. Would the UFC be big in the Philippines?
Oh, indefinite.
And speaking of UFC, Chris Lieben is almost be able. He's almost. Well, he's recovered.
Ooh.
He's in deep trouble here in the third round. He's in deep trouble, folks.
Get him in the triangle. Get him in the triangle.
Misty, you got anything you'd like to add or ask Milky?
No, I'm just really enjoying the answers. I'm learning some things that I already knew, but it sounds good. So just, yeah, it's good. You're doing a good job.
Misty, you're a University of Kentucky Wildcat fan. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Are you looking forward to the season?
I bleed blue. Yes, I am.
Were you disappointed with last season?
I was very disappointed. Yeah, I was heartbroken, actually.
Are you expecting a better season?
I am. I'm almost jumpy. I can't wait.
What has led to this enthusiasm?
Just the recruits we've got coming in, top of the line.
Even though the University of Kentucky didn't get Andrew Wiggins, was that a big disappointment?
It was, but we're fine. We're loaded, so if he had come, that would have been great. But since he didn't, that's fine. I think we're gonna go really far if we don't win everything this year.
Let's rock the house.
I think we're going to go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue. Back to Milky. You seem to be very talented with the speed painting. How do you get started in that?
Well, it's simple. All you do is just open up Miss Paint and get your recording device and just doodle.
So it's Miss Paint. Is that Microsoft Paint?
Yes.
And that's the program that you use?
That and GIMP.
GIMP.
Yes.
And where do you get GIMP?
Well, it's downloadable from any kind of website. It's virus-free and it's trustable.
So it's free.
Yes.
So you download this, and somehow it works with Microsoft Paint.
No, like how it's programmed is usually you just doodle on Microsoft Paint. Well, how I do it anyway, is they don't work together. They're two different separate programs. And what I usually do is just doodle on this and then copy and paste in GIMP and then finish it off there.
You make it look really easy. And folks, if you're listening to this, hopefully you can see my icon on the left. Milky's the one that made that for me. I really appreciate that, by the way. I actually got to see it being made. I put in a request, and she agreed to that. She said, next thing I know, I have a message in the inbox, and I can watch it being created, and I had the end result. So I saved it and went straight to YouTube and put it on my channel. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
I would like to give out a shout out to Macy, or Painttail as they call her, and Matthew Neems, which is also known as MDS Dude 3.
Certainly, I met MDS earlier this evening, and he seems like a really nice guy. I really enjoy talking to him, and I'm glad to have him as a subscriber. Thank you so much, MDS. Thank you. So, Misty, back to the basketball. Do you know who Kentucky's starting their season off against? Have you seen a schedule yet?
I've not seen a schedule yet. I need one.
Any rumors or any news from the University of Kentucky basketball Wildcats?
Not really. Everybody's just now arriving on campus pretty much, so they're going to, they've been coming in a few at a time. They've got some there now. They're working. They're getting to do a little bit of the workouts together, learning how to play together, spending some time doing that. And from what I gather, they're meshing pretty good right now. So I think it's going to turn out to be a really, really good
season.
Yeah, good year.
Just
really
a little trivia thing. Are you all familiar with the wrestler Sting?
Yes.
Sting?
I think he's with TNA right now. Sting.
Sounds familiar.
I would say Darlene is, yes.
His son is going to be playing football from the University of Kentucky.
Awesome.
He certainly is.
Cool.
I thought that was a neat little trivia fact. And I am a fan of Sting from way back in the day.
Oh,
I am a man
Sting.
called Sting.
He's
I'm
got
a big
a white face with the long hair and the black trench coat.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good guy. Most of the
a
time.
baby
He
face.
comes out from the rafters usually.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way he
Didn't
used to do
break
it.
his leg that one time?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. But he's a really good. I always really enjoy.
I like him
wrestling
too.
characters.
I really like him a whole lot.
So
So, Milky, I know you watched the WWE. Anything interesting happening on that?
I haven't seen it in a long time, so I am not really
Kind of
certain.
out of the loop. I am too. Me and Misty, we watched it a little bit last night. It was on.
yeah. Randy
See-
Orton, I saw him.
Randy Orton defeated. I'm trying to think. Oh my goodness,
There's so
Christian.
many.
Christian, Edge's brother,
I don't-
Christian,
Oh.
or used to be brother.
They
I'm not sure
tag
if they
teamed,
played
I'm
it.
not really sure.
But anyway, that's who he defeated last night, and CM Punk was there. I like CM Punk. The reason I like CM Punk is because I heard Chael Sonnen talk about him. I'm a huge MMA fan, and I actually read a little bit about CM Punk, the Second City Saint.
Sounds interesting. I might
And-
look into this.
You try it sometime. CM Punk, it's really good. That's because I'm a huge Chael Sonnen fan, but you knew that already. Well, folks, we're coming up on the 12-minute mark, which is about our limit. We're going to sign off right now, and thank you, everybody, for listening. Hope everybody enjoys it. Please leave a comment. If you got anything you'd like to add, please keep it civil, and we would love to hear from you. We will certainly give you a shout back. Thank you so much, and good night.